to be remembered.
A legacy, right?
Like Charlie Kirk, stirred heavy distrust, especially among communities inclined to alternative media.
Why would the hand go over to the slave? Ask yourself that question. Why would the hand go over to the slave? I'm going to tell you what's up, dudes and guys and girls. It's a lie. I am so disappointed with all the three-letter agencies of the United States. Utah is full of Mormons and Zionists who have a different idea than any other Christian on the planet as to where Jesus Christ is going to return to and all of these things. Something is so wrong. Something has been so wrong all the way back to COVID-19, and it's not over yet. They've been lying to us since 9/11. Do it. You can do it, but there's no way you can call yourself a Christian and be a deceiving devil. Okay. Why did none of the security with TPUSA get fired? Why will Erika say that it's okay for her to not look at the video of what happened to her husband? Why is she acting as if her TPUSA family is more important than Charlie? Now let's look at Charlie.
You were never meant to audition for your own worth. Never. You are not a backup plan. You are not a placeholder, and you are not a maybe.
Maybe that's what she felt like she did. That she had to be interviewed, and which she was interviewed by Charlie. You guys remember?
You are definitely not someone's emotional experiment. If he won't pray with you, if he won't lead you, if he won't honor your purity or envision a future of serving God together, let him go. You were never meant to audition for your own worth. Share with you all of the things that we have going on building. So I'm going to just start it off with this. So last year, Charlie, I'll rewind. AmFest is Charlie's Super Bowl. Thank you. But what's also very interesting is that when Charlie first and the team first came up with, since I don't have a speech, I might as well just walk around. When Charlie first came up with AmFest, he thought to himself, who would not love to celebrate America? So we're going to name it AmFest. And that's what he did. And I'll never forget, last year, We were blessed to have President Trump come and speak. And afterwards, Charlie turns to me, starts running. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, I'm about to go on Air Force One. I'm in.
Even though she's putting it in a different context than what I believe she's actually saying, I believe that there's been several videos where Erika is telling us exactly what's going on. I really do think that he really left it in her lap.
Trying to chase him to figure out what is going on. He goes, okay, so I got to get on Air Force One. I was like, good for you, baby. He's like, okay, so I need you to close out the AmFest, and I need you to do the staff meeting afterwards. And I was like, excuse me? He's like, yeah, you're closing out AmFest. And I was like, I am not closing out AmFest. He's like, yes, you are. And I said, what am I supposed to say? And he goes, you'll figure it out. That's why I married you. I was like, you always say that to me whenever we're in a position where we won't, like, there's no script, there's nothing. He's like, baby, you'll figure it out. That's why I married you. So again, here we are.
There is a script. I think there is a script. And I think they know exactly what they're doing. And I think that's why nobody has said the truth. Nobody has acted really unhappy because they know exactly what they're doing. And they may be running a psychological operation on us, that's for sure. But at the same time, I think that they think that they're going to come to a solution on this and that a lot of people are going to be indicted and go to jail because of the fraud and because of the money funny stuff. So they feel like they got to do what they got to do, like it or not.
Represented plus Puerto Rico, but I have the list here. Don't worry, guys. Egypt is not on the list. Don't worry about that.
She's trying to throw off on Candace. She mentions something about Egypt because Candace was talking about Egyptian planes. And we know darn well that if she was really concerned about the death of her husband, she would want to know about Egyptian planes, that she knows that she wasn't on them. Instead of fussing with Candace about it, she would be wanting to know what Candace had found out about the Egyptian planes.
But, oh, how funny. I say Egypt and my iPad turns on. That's fun.
You know, I want to believe that Charlie was like a really real guy, but I wonder sometimes the way these Freemasonic people do things, the way these secret societies do things, they will infiltrate, they will pretend to be a Christian, they will infiltrate and they will pretend to be anything in any organization. The CIA will lie and they will infiltrate any organization in order to come out with the outcome they want to come out with. They will act, they will cheat, they will steal. Just ask Mike Pompeo. He's got a video that's saying that when he was the director of the CIA, that they cheated, that they stole, that they lied. Okay, so here we go.
Okay, so you started Turning Point 2012, right? So Trump's first rally in Arizona was when? And it was
the summer of 15.
Summer of 15. So I went with my mom. I was a Trump fan.
To a Trump rally.
To a Trump rally. His first one. And Tyler was there.
Tyler Boyer.
Yes, he was there with his wife, his beautiful wife, and his kids. And he came up to me afterwards and he was like, hey, we have this organization and we're starting in Arizona. Would love for you to be a part of it. And it was one of those things where everything he said sounded super exciting, but I was getting ready to move to New York. And that was a season of life that I really prayed about, and it was something I needed to move on towards. And so I said, thank you for all the information, but I am moving to Manhattan. And I was like, stay in touch. And we didn't really stay in touch all that much. And then I went to Israel And what year was that?
That was
2 years ago?
2018.
2018.
That was May of 2018.
And that was the embassy
opening. So I happened to be there in Israel too.
And so I was on a pilgrimage with my mom in Israel, and it was our last day, and we were standing in the ticket line. And I remember just trying to deal with pulling together all of the documents and stuff at the ticket counter. And I turned around, and I saw someone who looked super familiar, but I've never talked to them or met them before. And I looked at him and I was like, turned over to my mom and I was like, he looks really familiar. And didn't say anything. And I came back home and got a message from Tyler.
See, she says she didn't say anything, or she said didn't say anything. All right, so that's one point that I want to point out, that she said that her mother didn't say anything. And then I'm going to show you another video where she says, her mother says, well, why don't you go over and talk to him? Okay, think about that. She was 32 years old when they got together, and he's going to not only undercut her right here after supposedly being engaged to her, but he will undercut her again in the next video that I will show you.
From who I had met at the Trump rally, and he was saying, hey, you should come to Turning Point's office. We're having an office opening. We'd like to discuss with you about everything that we're doing with the faith component side of things.
And also, Tyler Boyer. Okay, you should really listen to Candace Owens about Tyler Boyer. I'm serious. This guy is a character.
You set boundaries, and you really are able to then say, okay, he is in charge of XYZ in our relationship. I am in charge of the other side of that. And I know that a lot of women who are strong, they're very strong personality females, you have to also give your other half, your counterpart, your male companion, the respect they deserve.
Well, I think men have to be worthy of that respect.
They do, absolutely.
And that, it feeds into itself. So women say, you're not worthy of my respect, I'm going to become the man. Mm-hmm. So you have these hyper-masculine women in their early 30s that are quite honestly miserable in relationships.
Right, but it doesn't start like that. I feel like women...
Do you see what he just said? He just said that women in their 30s become hyper-masculine.
You set boundaries, and you really are able to then say, okay, he is in charge of XYZ in our relationship. I am in charge of the other side of that. And I know that a lot of women who are strong, they're very strong personality females, you have to also give your other half, your counterpart, your male companion, the respect they deserve.
Well, I think men have to be worthy of that respect.
They do, absolutely.
And that it feeds into itself. So women say, you're not worthy of my respect, I'm going to become the man. Mm-hmm. So you have these hyper-masculine women in their early 30s that are quite honestly miserable in relationships.
Right, but it doesn't start like that. I feel like women just, they keep tapping away until the guy completely breaks down and he's like, look, you do whatever you want to do.
Or they just disengage. Or they become a feminine man.
Right.
New York is full of them.
Yeah.
It's of these men that kind of take a backseat role to a much more boss babe type woman. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that works.
I mean, obviously, I don't either, considering who I'm dating.
Very bright blue-eyed look. But in the older photo, her eyes look too dark. So immediately people started asking if she'd been wearing blue contacts for years. And Erika's eyes are the main thing people are always commenting and calling her creepy.
She's in danger, you guys. I don't care what you say, she's in danger. This girl is in danger. Something is terribly wrong. She's being forced to do things against her will. And she doesn't know what to do about it.
If you're not married by the age of 30, you only have a 50% chance of getting married. And if you don't have kids by the age of 30, you have a 50% chance of not having kids. You should know that. And I'm not telling you anything that is that provocative. It's just the data, right? Having children are a gift from the Lord. And unfortunately, our culture de-emphasizes it.
To add on to that, for the women who are getting married after 30,
like
That's
she
okay.
did.
I'm trying to bridge the gap here because it is
32
okay.
when she
And-
married
There's
Charlie.
nothing wrong with it, right? It's just,
Right.
I find.
No, it's good. This is good.
No, if you just want happy talk, then that's fine.
It's good. God is good. You'll find your human. I found mine.
Or did her mom say, well, go and say hi? Which is it?
That's just weird. That ended up being Charlie. Nothing is by coincidence. Now, did we know that? No, not until we were like 3 months into our relationship and looking at timestamps, seeing that both of us were in Israel at the same time. But nothing is by coincidence when God is within you. Okay? So you guys go blaze a trail, okay? God bless you all.
And I'm talking about Charlie Kirk.